The leader of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, has rejected US President Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan. Abbas described it as a conspiracy, saying that his people's rights are not for sale. Trump unveiled his vision for the Middle East peace alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Well, to help us unpack what came out of that deal of the century, I'm now joined by a spokesperson at the Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions Movement, BDS, South Africa, Alie Komape. Thanks so much for joining us and welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Peter, and good afternoon to viewers at home.
All right, so let's talk about this deal. The president, very happy, Benjamin Netanyahu, have been describing this as a great opportunity, an opportunity for the century. A lot of people are pushing back on it, though. Why?
We said this earlier today, that you could imagine in the 1980s, P.W. Botha is the Prime Minister of South Africa, apartheid South Africa, and he's on TV with Ronald Reagan, and they say, you know, we've got this great plan for apartheid South Africa. Basically, what we are saying is that apartheid is great, apartheid is nice, the black majority must keep being in the ghettos, townships, and the white minority must enjoy the colonized South Africa. This is exactly what has happened today. Donald Trump has offered Palestinian land to Israelis. Palestine is not for Trump to offer. Palestine is not for Netanyahu to steal. But this is exactly what they've done. They've offered Palestinian land, the stolen Palestinian lands to Israelis today in what they call the deal of the century. It's a farce, it's a shame, it's scandalous.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the specifics. So the first one, the most contentious perhaps, is Jerusalem being completely taken over by Israel.
We could remember that this is not the first time this happens. A year back, Trump notoriously announced that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, which he has no right to do anyway. So this really is colonization of really special type, where superpowers of the world are imposing onto other populations in the world what is to be their self-determination, what is to be their future, what is to be their right. So this is essentially the United States determining what Palestinians' lands should be and should not be, what Israel's rights and what Israel's properties and what Israel is supposed to do in what is not their land. So moving Jerusalem to be the capital of Israel is just an escalation of that, of stealing more and more Palestinian land in an effort to make sure that in the nearer future there are no Palestinians in the stolen lands of Palestine. All
right, talking about occupied territories, how much of the 1967 borders have been occupied, and with this plan, how much more will disappear?
We would like to speak holistically about historic Palestine. So with this current plan of Trump, of the 100% of historic Palestine and Palestinian land before the 1967 borders, only 20% will be Palestinian land. And this will not be a holistic Palestinian land. It will be like Bandustan. So you'll have what Trump sees. You will have Palestine here, Palestine there, Palestine there, Palestine there. There are roads that will interchange. It's like Putatswana and Venda and KZN during the Bandustan. So that's what basically happens. It will be 20% of the land. And this will be given on conditions also, on conditions that don't claim sovereignty, on condition that you withdraw your case against Israel at the ICC, and ridiculous conditions on the conditions on that. So only 20% of Palestinian land will be in Palestinians.
But there's talks of Israel saying that people should be disarmed as well.
I mean, it is, we all concur with international law that oppressed people have a right to defend themselves. You can't tell oppressed people how to defend themselves. What you do is to give them solidarity. What they ask of you to do, you do it for them. So to tell Palestinians how to defend themselves against oppression is quite bizarre. And this has been the narrative of those who support Israel and those who supported apartheid South Africa as well, that they're terrorists, they're barbaric, they kill innocent people. So oppressed people in the world have a right to defend themselves. And Palestinians, no matter how they see fit, they defend themselves. And in 2005, they did tell us, the international community, that there's a simple way that you can help us in defending ourselves against apartheid Israel, through boycotts, through divestments, and through sanctions.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately, but the Middle East is of such a nature that we will have more conversations, I'm sure, in the future. Thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
All right.